Hello and welcome to the podcast, one of our favorite shows in a while. The highlights from it coming up in a few minutes. First, talking with the newest member of our team here, Johnny Jasno. We almost crossed paths back in Saskatoon a long time ago.
Oh, that'd have been 10 plus years ago, yeah.
I feel like the seat was still warm from your bottom when I sat in it the first time. That's how close we were to crossing paths.
What station was that?
Wired.
I left on the Friday, and I think you started on the Monday.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, pretty wild. But we've known each other for a while in the industry. I've always been fond of your work, so it's good to have you a part of the team. How are you liking things so far?
Oh, man, it is fast. It is quick. It is good, though. Everybody here is super cool.
We got cool listeners, hey?
Man, the cool stories that come in on the daily that I'm not expecting are awesome. That's my favorite, just the unexpected.
We had a call today from a girl. We were talking about, like, interesting, unique ways you've been busted when you were being bad.
She texted us, but we called her immediately. We're like, you need to tell everyone this story in your own words.
Yeah,
You're so funny.
That's coming up on the podcast today. Involves an elephant, a newspaper, and her daughter and a very mad boss. Anyway.
Love it.
Well, welcome to the team officially. And
Sweet.
Now that you've made it, 2 weeks?
Yeah, week 2.
Okay, so I think you're here to stay for a bit, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Hope so.
Just don't tell the boss.
Johnny Jasno is on live between 10 and 2. Is it 2 or 3 that you're on till?
Till 2.
Till 2 p.m. every day. So give him some love if you're listening live. If you're done listening to the podcast and it's between 10 and 2 p.m., throw him on live, shoot him a text.
And I bet if you do text him, there's like a 96% chance he'll text back.
96%.
Yeah. 780-784-7107 is our number in studio. Okay, you got to get to work and we got to leave. So.
Yeah, we'll get out of your way.
Ryder and Lisa.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai.
Play 107.
You came across something on Facebook that's rather bothersome.
Oh gosh, this
here
is
in Edmonton.
It's all over the Edmonton pet accounts and St. Albert Lost and Found Pets. But it's a Kijiji ad for a Bengal female purebred cat. It's 5 years old, $100 out in Spruce Grove. You can contact Rick and Jill. And the description is infuriating. That's why it's getting shared so much. I really want to hear the ending if this cat gets adopted, because it says we have all her paperwork, tan, brown, and black in color. Behavioral problems started a year ago. She won't use the litter box. Has had her shots. Microchipped. If you're interested in dealing with her problems, she's yours. Indoor, outdoor cat, nice cat when not misbehaving. We will be taking her to the vet this Saturday in the morning to get put down. If you're going to put down a cat for peeing outside of the litter box, why are you charging $100? Like, give it to someone that would love it properly for free. Why are you charging $100?
Threatening that you're going to kill an animal unless someone pays you for it is next level disturbing.
Yeah, and it's just infuriating to me specifically because I know I'm reading through the comments of people saying I DM'd them to find out if they found an owner yet. I need closure to this.
Right. Well, and I would assume there is a chance here that this is a scam,
It could
right?
be. Like, I'm looking at this cat, and it looks like a little cheetah. It's the cutest cat.
My
They're
buddies
expensive
my buddies
cats.
had some of those exotic cats, and they're like really cool.
They're so cool. She's so beautiful.
It's like you have an exotic beast in your house.
Anyway, if anyone wants the link to this, don't send them money.
Wow.
Do not send them money unless you're meeting them to get this cat, to know this cat actually exists.
Right. And then if you're willing to pay $100, that's probably a pretty good deal for this cat.
Right.
If you have the experience to help it become litter trained. But even giving them money after threatening,
what are you doing?
It just makes me feel gross. My guess is they have no intention to put it down. They just really want to sell it.
Okay.
And this is a way that they figured would speed up that process.
Yeah, and I bet
bit.
they didn't expect this to go viral. You know, you say one thing and you're like, well, maybe we'll get a hit and this cat will be sold by tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, it's getting hundreds of shares.
After such a garbage move, my only hope is that before that cat gets adopted, it pees all over their house.
Oh my God.
Play 107, it's Ryder and Lisa. My kid is in hot water after getting busted lying.
It's hard, with the cell phone advantage of parents being able to instantly text each other when their kid lies to them.
Yeah, especially in a co-parenting situation where she has two households. Kids 10, 15 years ago, got away with murder.
Oh, man, you would lie. You'd say, I'm going to dad's for the weekend. You go hang out with your boyfriend.
Nobody would know the difference.
Nobody, there was no communication there.
Whereas now, I found out like seconds after.
Yeah.
So she was brushing, said that she brushed her teeth, and then her mom went and checked the toothbrush and it was dry.
Oh, rookie move. You got to wet it.
Yeah. No treats for the week.
Dang.
Yeah. We wanted to ask you, though, at 780-784-7107, have you ever been busted lying?
And it could be something silly.
Yeah. Or could
big.
Could be something serious. And how did you get busted is important, too, if you reach out to us.
I love Matt's text because I feel like we've all been there. I drank some of my dad's rum before a junior high dance, and then I refilled it with water, put it in the freezer. And when he went to get a drink, you know what happens to water in the freezer? The liquor doesn't freeze.
Right.
All of our parents put the vodka in the freezer for that exact reason.
Oh, is that why?
Yes, because if you try and make it look like you didn't take any, you fill it with water and the water freezes and parents know instantly, like somebody got into our liquor.
I had no idea that's why.
It's so brilliant.
I thought it's just because vodka's like really nice when it's ice cold.
No.
Also the case, though.
Also the case.
I got grounded for about a week, 2 weeks.
How did they find out?
Because I was walking the dogs all the time. So my stepdad followed me.
Oh, no.
And you know, it's so suspicious when a kid's like, I'll walk the dog.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Like,
Young.
13.
Oh.
Yeah, I got
Yikes.
busted by my parents, and it's because I used to carry my darts in my deodorant bottle. Like, I washed out Speed Stick, and so I was always able to just tell Mom, no, like, I stink. I'm a teenage boy going through puberty, and it was fine until my brother ratted me out.
Yeah.
Aw.
And told my parents that my darts were in the deodorant bottle in my coat. He also ratted me out to my ex-wife, who was my wife at the time, after a Vegas trip, and said, yeah, I'm a little worried. He had a cigarette in his hand the whole time, and she had thought I'd quit. So
I feel like that's your fault. Like,
No.
why didn't you tell your brothers if you were smoking that much in Vegas? Like, don't tell anyone I'm smoking.
this is a bad brother. It's the same one that did both of those things, and that combined just tells me he has no ride or die tactics. He would not be in my biker gang.
No, he'd rat you out for everything.
No, exactly. He'd like be calling the police. Hey, wanted to talk to you about something.
So you're almost at a year. No smokes.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, for the first time, like since I was probably 13 or 12.
Wow, that's crazy.
I'll hit a year without touching one.
You need to stop hating on your brother, though. He's probably one of the main reasons you ended up quitting, and Ryder could have died.
Are you making fun of the ride or die?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Looking back now that I have quit and my lungs feel so much better.
I bet.
I'm all right with it, but at the time I was like, bro,
Yeah.
seriously?
So the reason we're talking about this is because Ryder and Charlie's mom caught her lying about not brushing her teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Like being able to text each other instantly to be like, just a heads up, Charlie didn't brush her teeth. You got to keep an eye out. She didn't even wet the toothbrush.
No.
I used to pretend to brush my teeth all the time growing up, but you got to wet the toothbrush, like put the toothpaste out, maybe even squirt a little into the sink, drip a little bit of fluoride in there.
Isn't it easier to just brush your teeth?
Well, nobody wants to do it. Even as an adult, I'm like, do I really have to brush my teeth? All right.
Oh, that explains it.
Yeah.
7.
A lot of people are reading that Budweiser won't be running a commercial during the Super Bowl for the first time in 37 years. They usually have amazing commercials.
Yeah, and even numerous good ones.
Now, you read this and you're like, well, that sucks. Like, why? Because instead they're using that money to boost
Oh, you really wrecked this story.
I ruined it.
Nah, people get it.
Tell me something good.
Instead, they're using
the
that money
money
to boost vaccine awareness.
All right, my story is about a surgery that has gone very right. Things are looking up for the first patient ever to receive an artificial cornea implant. You know where that is in the body?
The eyeball.
Nailed it. That could have been a really bad question if you didn't know the answer. The 78-year-old man could even pass the classic eye test, identifying numbers and letters from a distance after getting the surgery. There are 10 people on the wait list. If those all go good, it's going to become a mainstream option for people that have had injuries or disease take away their eyesight.
Cool.
Dope.
Tell me something good.
How are you busted? By your parents, maybe? By a teacher? By your boss? 780-784-7107 is our number. Get at us with your stories. We're very interested in hearing. We're going to check in with Melody here in a second, who's got a dope story for us, where she got in a whole bunch of trouble from her boss. First, this text to 780-784-7107. I called one of those late night phone lines when I was younger, having no idea that it would get charged to my parents' phone bill. I told my mom I misdialed when she confronted me. She asked me why I misdialed 3 times in a row.
Oh no. And also, like, who are you trying to call? That's when it gets bad. When there are layers to the lie.
Whose phone number starts with 1-800-HOT?
I remember I caught an ex-boyfriend lying to me. He accidentally texted me. This is so bad. It was like his hockey rookie party. And he texted me by accident. This is back when we had flip phones, T9. He's like, my girlfriend won't be at the party tonight. You should come.
Oh, no.
So I showed up.
Yeah, she did go to the party that night.
I was there as well. I showed up.
And?
It's not good.
You throw some bombs?
Oh, no. But I dumped him in front of the entire party. It was awesome. Because the party was only a block away from me.
Right.
So I just walked there. It was awesome. But the thing is he called me instantly and tried to make up a lie.
Right.
And I listened to it. And then I said, can you tell me that again? And he completely forgot the story that he made up on the spot. So bad.
Yeah.
So awkward.
Good for you. Roll it in there, though. I like that story. I could just picture you kicking open the door.
Oh, man. And it was one of those parties where there's hundreds of shoes in the entrance. So I'm kicking them out of the way.
Take your shoes off, and then on your way out, you can't find yours and just put on some random shoes.
Yes.
All right. We got Melody on the phone. She texted in with the story, but we want her to tell it.
So good.
Fire away.
Whenever I tell a lie, I get caught in the worst way imaginable. The worst case that ever happened, my daughter was 7 and she wanted to go to the circus, and I had a big staff meeting after work. And I thought, you know what? The circus comes once a year. I'm not going to staff meeting. So I lied. I told my boss I had a doctor's appointment. I took my kid. We had a fantastic time. It was great. No regrets. Show up to work the next morning. My boss calls me to his office. He slaps a newspaper down in front of me and says, "What's this?" Huge color photo of us riding the elephant.
No!
Oh, yeah. My parents thought it was so funny. They contacted the paper and got a copy of it and framed it and gave it to me.
You and your daughter on an elephant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a big joke with my friends. So it's like, Melody, you've got to know when not to ride an elephant.
There is a flawless way to settle things down if you're about to get in a real heated one, or if you're in the middle of a heated one and you think of this. You and your significant other are arguing. Just picture it, Lisa.
Okay. Or can this be something where you're fighting with a sibling? Can it be a coworker, or is this just specifically more so?
I think it's mainly relationship based.
Okay. So picture it. Oh, when are you gonna take your laundry and fold it yourself? Is that a good example?
Sure, that's perfect. Or why'd you like that Hottie's picture on Soch?
I saw that you liked 3 photos in a row. What's that about? Who is that?
Or you never rub my feet like you used to. Any of those. Just picture it.
Okay.
The other person gets up quietly
and leaves.
Says, "I'll be right back."
No.
And comes back in with a fire snack. Sets it down and says, "I thought you might be hungry. What were you saying?"
You think that would work?
Yeah. And even next level, you could also, if you have their favorite drink handy, like a little Prosecco and a cheese platter, and you come back in and you're like, "Listen, I really want to hear you out. What were you saying?" The fire has been put out. Then there's just a little sizzle left.
Are you serious?
And in the sizzle, you can still come to terms and come to an agreement and grow together and be better. All of that can happen in the sizzle.
I actually think that you're making valid points right now, because I don't eat breakfast. and we're usually here at work till around noon, 11:30 noon. Okay, so getting here quite early in the morning, and then by the time it's noon, that's like a full day.
Yeah.
No food in me. That is when I'm at my crankiest. Like to the point where I'm like, don't talk to me until I eat. I should actually start bringing like granola bars or something just for those moments where I'm like, why am I unnecessarily cranky about nothing in particular?
I will go to Costco and buy you 7,000 so that you're set up here for the next decade. But I actually do think that there is something to be said about a kind gesture as things are about to get really heated.
Okay, but at the same time, bringing in a snack like cheese definitely could fix things in certain situations. But you can't even try and tell me that like a sandwich is going to cure like a guy liking a bunch of photos or something. Like if you're getting confronted about something that's serious.
Okay, an Italian sandwich from the Italian shop. If he comes and gives you that and says, like, after the fire's down to a sizzle, and says, like, listen, I hear you what you're saying, and I'll be better. Enjoy your sandwich.
How big is the sandwich?
Like, you get the full thing. Right? The only time this doesn't work is if your argument happens at dinner. Oilers back in action against the Jets tonight at 6. It will not feature Pierre-Luc Dubois just yet.
Okay, so this is the new guy. He was just drafted to the Winnipeg Jets.
Just traded to the Jets.
To the Jets. So he played for who before?
Columbus. Yeah, the story behind this trade is pretty wild. So, Puijarvi, who's doing really good for the Oilers, was the 4th pick in the year that Patrick Laine went 2nd and Pierre-Luc Dubois went 3rd.
So why is he going to the Jets?
Yeah, so he was playing for Columbus, and he thought the city was very boring, apparently, and was ready for a change, get to a more competitive team. I think probably hoping to land in like a Tampa Bay or Los Angeles.
What do you mean the
Anaheim.
city's boring? We can't go anywhere.
Well, I know, but just Columbus, he's been there for the last few years.
Okay.
His time there is done, doesn't get along with the coach. Anyway.
Got it. That makes sense.
Demands a trade, which for a young player is a ballsy move and not one that happens very often. So they grant him his wish and trade him for that other guy I mentioned, Laine.
Yeah.
But he has to go to Winnipeg. So he went from Columbus to what the players voted the least desirable city to go to in the NHL, in Winnipeg. It's colder. It's smaller.
Wow.
Like, the guy did not get what he wanted. And he has to quarantine for 2 weeks before he can even play a game. So that's maybe why you don't demand a trade during a pandemic.
I can't wait. This is making me excited to watch a Winnipeg game.
Well, just to see if
See if he's got some pep in his step out there, or if he's miserable. He'll be dragging his skates.
So the picture of him, like his first picture in the Winnipeg team jersey, he looks miserable. So he'll fit in Winnipeg at least.
107.
Have you ever had an unwanted guest at your home? This after a story is getting viral attention. A woman found a man who had been living in her attic for months.
You got to be pretty quiet at night. Like, once they get home from work?
Yeah.
What do? Just, like, lay there?
What if you have hiccups?
True.
780-784-7107. What do you got for us?
So, pre-COVID, we're having a Halloween party at my house, and my ex was coming over with her husband, and I was like, we're really good friends because we co-parent, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But we're like, hey, we're having a Halloween party, so come on down. So she's like, all right, well, I have a friend staying over from out of town. Do you mind if he comes? I said, no problem. So they all come over. We're getting dressed. We're pre-gaming. We're setting up the party, this, that, and the other thing. 5 minutes after they show up or whatever, her friend who's staying with her is like, well, I'm going to go have a nap, and just walks into one of my kids' bedrooms and naps for like 5 hours. And I was like, so my kids are like, well, what do we do? And I was like, I don't know, play in the other room, like, because a couple kids, couple rooms. I was like, go play in the other room? Like, I have no idea. This woman's just sleeping in there. So she finally gets up, she gets ready, she joins the party like nothing happened. Like, never saw her again. She woke up and took off and flew home in the morning or something.
Can you imagine being that comfortable, no matter where you are?
Well, that's exactly it. Like, I know you're friends with my ex, but, like, you don't know me. You just come and sleep in my kid's room. Like, what's going on here?
Thanks for the call, Kyle. Appreciate it. 780-784-7107. Dan, fire away.
In 1980, my sister won a free trip to Hawaii, but she couldn't take it because she was still in grade 12. So my mom and dad went to Hawaii and met this person And then the person came and visited us, and they stayed for a month. They wouldn't leave. And so my parents probably had to pay for them to get a ticket out of town. They made it one way.
Thanks, Dan.
Can you imagine that?
No. I had a buddy who he and his wife went on a week and a half trip somewhere, and they got back and noticed immediately something was wrong. The door had been kicked in. They walk in, and there are two people just chilling there. Like,
just living,
drinking, partying. The house reeked like smoke. So apparently this is a homeless couple in Lloyd, and they busted in, lived there for the entire week. There ended up like being blood all over the mattress.
Oh no.
They had smoked crack in there. Like, they went all in on partying for the week. And like, I think Kobe and Teresa were their names.
You know their names.
Yeah, because now we use it as an excuse anytime there's like a liquor bottle that vanishes at a party or we drink like too much. We'll be like, blame it on Kobe and Teresa. They must have snuck in and drank this.
107.
It's crazy. A healthy mind quite often comes back to you telling it to be healthy. I know that sounds strange, but the more I go on this earth, the more I realize that the power of positivity and like healthy self-talk is really a contributing factor into just a happier life.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are struggling right now more than ever. I'm not saying like past generations haven't gone through things like pandemics and horrible things, but
for sure,
I just think, trying to look at the small, beautiful things in life can really help you get by.
So there is a TikTok we came across from Zozo where she talks about the law of that's enough.
I love this.
It's a little over 30 seconds, but it is really powerful.
Listen up.
Check it out.
I think it's high time we all start practicing the law of that's enough. Literally made that up, but let me explain. Anytime you catch yourself like worrying about something, just be like, that's enough, because it's not you, it's your mind. Anytime you find yourself feeling intimidated by a space you're in or a room you're in, virtually or whatever, that's enough. Anytime you find yourself comparing yourself to other people's places in life, that's enough. Start limiting your mind, because your thoughts literally create reality. Whatever you tell it, it will believe and it will create. Conscious mind will tell your subconscious mind, that is. Start telling yourself what you want to see with full belief that what you're telling is what will come to pass.
Legit.
Yeah, and it reminds me of like when someone compliments you and they're like, oh my God, I love your hair. You look so beautiful. No, I don't. Stop. No. You're going to start convincing people that what you think is true.
Yeah.
And you're going to stop hearing these nice compliments that people genuinely mean.
That was a really beautiful way to put it, what she had to say about like the law of that's enough. There was another sketch that I remember from years ago that I've always leaned on in moments where I'm talking myself into negative feelings.
You're just like digging a hole.
Right. And it's from the Bob Newhart show. And I think you'll see the comparison and why I'm going with this.
I start thinking about being buried alive, and I begin to panic.
So she's at a therapist when she brings up that issue.
I'm going to say two words to you right now. I want you to listen to them very, very carefully. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, here they are.
Stop it! Stop it?
Yes. I mean, you don't want to go through life being scared of being buried alive in a box, do you? I mean, that sounds frightening. Then stop it.
So there's two options, and they both have two words. Stop it, and that's enough.
This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai. Check out the Southtown Hyundai Advantage at southtownhyundai.ca.